Welcome back. Amazon recently announced their Future Engineers program. This is an initiative to encourage students to go into STEM fields. And they partnered recently also with Gallup and did a poll on exactly where students have interest in and where they want to go with this program. I spoke with two individuals recently, one from Amazon and one from Gallup. Let's take a look.
Computer science is one of the highest demand fields in the U.S. economy. The question for the future, will there be enough people to fill those roles? Amazon and Gallup recently joined forces to conduct a survey to understand student interest and engagement in the computer science field. And joining us this morning to talk about the survey and computer science education opportunities are Tom Berry, Senior Manager of Amazon Future Engineer, and Stephanie Markin, Executive Director of Education Research at Gallup. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Tom, let's start with you. Why is the Amazon Future Engineer program not only key for your company, but also the nation's economy?
Students are interested in studying computer science, but they don't have access to learn it in their schools, and they also don't have exposure to general careers that are possible. We think this is a huge miss for the U.S. economy because employers, not just Amazon, are increasingly looking to hire candidates with a computer science background. So if you were to look at the latest federal statistics, they show clearly that if you have a job in computer science or information technology, you're likely to earn twice as much as the general income average across all occupations. So ensuring broad access and opportunity to learn to students is really important from an income mobility perspective, and so they can build the best future. And that's really what Amazon Future Engineer is about, and this research study is about finding new ways to open up that access.
What role do mentors play in getting students interested in computer science as a field of study?
Role models really help a student visualize their future. Instead of a confusing idea of a career, they show a relatable story of a journey from a classroom into a career. And the recent study from Gallup shows that among students that have a computer science role model and strongly agree that they have that role model, they are 10 times more likely to want to pursue a career in computer science than students who strongly disagreed. So from our perspective, we launched the Meet an Amazonian program to connect classrooms to a diverse group of role models through our Class Chat program, which is a live virtual career talk, as well as show them real-world technology in action through a behind-the-scenes tour program, our virtual fulfillment center tours. And these two ways are how we, through our Meet an Amazonian program, have already connected since our launch in April, over 140,000 students to real-world role models and technology in action. And we think this is a really important first step to the broader issue of opening up access to learn computer science.
Stephanie, tell us about some key findings from the survey you conducted.
We found widespread interest in the concept of computer science education nationally. So 62% of students for whom we interviewed reported they'd like to learn more about the topic of computer science. And yet, unfortunately, only about half of U.S. students report they've actually taken a computer science course in the past 12 months. And that gap between interest and participation was even more significant for underserved students. So students who are coming from lower income households were far less likely than their peers to report they've actually had the opportunity to take a computer science course in the past 12 months, despite being very interested in doing so.
And what does the research say about how the availability of opportunities helps kids get into this high demand field?
So 70% of the students for whom we interviewed reported that they actually had a computer science course currently offered within their school system that they could take. Unfortunately, that number dropped really dramatically for underserved students. So students who are living in rural areas throughout the U.S., as well as students coming from lower income households, were far less likely than their peers to report those courses were currently available to them. And even when we went into urban areas and heard from those students, what we found was even though courses were more available writ large within those areas, Black and Latinx students were less likely to report those courses were available within their school. So really the study uncovered really important inequities in access that we have to solve in order to scale computer science education to millions of students nationally who need it and who want it.
And Tom, where can we get more information?
If you're a student, an educator, a parent, someone who cares about opening up these opportunities, you can head over to AmazonFutureEngineer.com and learn more.
Well, thank you so much, Tom and Stephanie, for joining us today and telling our viewers all about Amazon Future Engineer. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure.